What would you do if life suddenly turned upside down? When every plan you made crumbled and every hope you held seemed to disappear? This is the question that haunts millions of hearts in our modern world. Welcome to GitaSahasram. In the heart of bustling Mumbai, there lived a young woman named Anjali. She was a software engineer, bright and ambitious, with dreams as vast as the ocean. But today, those dreams felt like distant stars in a cloudy night. Just 3 months ago, Anjali's world was perfect. She had a loving family, a promising career, and a life filled with purpose. But in a single day, everything changed. Her father suffered a massive heart attack, her company announced layoffs, and her closest friend betrayed her trust. Anjali found herself drowning in responsibilities she never imagined. Hospital bills, family expenses, and the pressure to find a new job consumed her days. Sleep became a stranger, and peace felt like a forgotten dream. One evening, as tears rolled down her cheeks, Anjali whispered to the empty room, "I cannot control anything anymore. Why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong?" Her voice echoed in the silence, carrying the weight of her broken spirit. In that moment of despair, Anjali's eyes fell upon an old book on her shelf. It was the Bhagavad Gita, a gift from her grandmother years ago. She had never really read it, but something drew her to it now. As she opened the sacred text, her grandmother's voice echoed in her memory, "Beta, when life becomes too heavy to carry, remember that you are not meant to carry it alone. There is a power greater than us, guiding every step, every breath." That night, Anjali began reading about Arjuna's crisis on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Like her, he was overwhelmed, confused, and paralyzed by the weight of his circumstances. And like her, he questioned everything he believed about life. As days passed, Anjali discovered Krishna's teaching to Arjuna, "You have the right to perform your actions, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never let the fruits of action be your motive, nor let yourself be attached to not doing your duty." These words struck Anjali like lightning. She realized she had been fighting not just external challenges, but also her desperate need to control outcomes. She had been carrying the weight of results that were never hers to carry. The next morning, Anjali woke up with a different perspective. She went to the hospital not as a victim of circumstances, but as someone performing her duty with love. She held her father's hand and said, "Papa, I will do everything I can, but I surrender the results to something greater than me." When she attended job interviews, Anjali prepared thoroughly but released her anxiety about the outcome. She began to see each interview not as a battle to be won, but as an opportunity to serve and contribute, regardless of the result. Krishna's words echoed in her heart, "Surrender all your actions to me, with your mind fixed on the self. Be free from hope and selfishness. Fight with your mind at peace." This was not passive resignation, but active surrender. Days turned into weeks, and a miraculous transformation began. Anjali noticed that when she stopped desperately clinging to outcomes, she became more creative in her approach. When she stopped fighting the current, she learned to swim with it. Her father's health slowly improved, not because she worried less, but because she cared more effectively. She found a new job, not because she was desperate, but because she approached each opportunity with genuine service and trust. One evening, as Anjali sat by the window, she realized the profound truth Krishna had taught Arjuna. when you surrender to divine will, you don't become powerless. You become empowered by infinite power. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that true strength comes not from controlling life, but from surrendering to the divine flow while performing our duties with complete dedication. This is the path of Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love and devotion. Krishna says, "Those who surrender all their actions to me, who regard me as the supreme goal, who worship me with single-minded devotion, I swiftly rescue them from the ocean of birth and death." Anjali learned that surrender does not mean giving up effort. It means giving up the ego's need to control. She continued working hard, but now her actions flowed from love rather than fear, from service rather than selfishness. The practice of Bhakti Yoga transformed Anjali's crisis into a blessing. She discovered that when we align our will with divine will, obstacles become opportunities and problems become pathways to growth. Months later, Anjali realized that her greatest crisis had become her greatest teacher. She had learned to trust the process of life, to surrender outcomes while maintaining complete commitment to her actions. The ancient wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita had given her the most practical solution for modern life: perform your duty with love, offer the results to the divine, and trust that what is meant for you will come to you. Krishna's message to Arjuna resonates through the ages: do not grieve for what is past, do not worry about the future, live in the present moment, and surrender all your actions to me. Today, Anjali helps others discover this same path. She teaches them that surrender is not defeat, but the greatest victory, the victory over our own ego and the discovery of our true divine nature. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that every crisis is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Every challenge is a chance to deepen our faith. Every moment of letting go is a step closer to the divine. In our modern world, we often feel like we must control everything. But the Gita reminds us that true peace comes when we learn to flow with life's river instead of swimming against its current. Krishna assures us, "To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings." Anjali's journey teaches us that when we surrender our personal will to divine will, we don't lose our identity. We discover our true self. We don't become weak. We become infinitely strong. The path of Bhakti Yoga that Krishna taught Arjuna is not about blind faith, but about intelligent surrender. It's about understanding that there is a divine intelligence greater than our limited mind. In every moment of difficulty, we can choose: will we exhaust ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable, or will we surrender to divine guidance and find peace in the midst of the storm? The Bhagavad Gita's ultimate teaching is simple yet profound: abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This surrender that Krishna speaks of is not the surrender of a defeated person, but the surrender of a wise person who has understood the true nature of existence. When we practice Bhakti Yoga, we learn to see every action as an offering to the divine. Our work becomes worship, our service becomes prayer, and our life becomes a constant meditation. Anjali discovered that true freedom comes not from getting what we want, but from wanting what we get. This is the secret of contentment that Krishna taught on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The divine promise in the Gita is clear: I am always with those who worship me with love. I am in their hearts, and they are in my heart. This is the ultimate destination of surrender. In today's world of stress and uncertainty, Anjali's journey reminds us that the ancient wisdom of Krishna is not outdated. It is timeless guidance for finding peace, purpose, and divine connection in any era. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that every soul is on a journey back to its source. Every crisis is a call to surrender. Every moment of letting go is a step toward divine realization. So remember, dear souls, when life seems overwhelming, when problems seem too big, when the future seems uncertain, turn to the eternal wisdom of Krishna. Surrender not as a defeat, but as the greatest victory. May you find the strength to perform your duties with love, the wisdom to surrender outcomes with faith, and the peace that comes from knowing you are always held in divine embrace. Hare Krishna.